Hi, I'm Jo and this is my simple guide to yoga props that you might like to add to your practice. The most fundamental prop that we use in yoga is the yoga mat. And although you can start without it, you might soon find that in some of the postures you're sliding, your hands, your feet are sliding on the floor. So get yourself a sticky mat. Doesn't have to cost a fortune, but you want it to be at least 4 millimeters thick. So enough padding to support knees and joints, but not too thick so that it's tricky to balance. Then I would add some blocks. Yoga blocks could be made out of foam or cork or wood, and blocks or bricks are really good to bring the floor nearer to us. So rather than taking you out of alignment to reach the floor, you can use this support to move into the different yoga postures, and you can also sit on them and use them for support. The nice thinner, longer ones are great for sitting on at the beginning or end of your practice, and they can also be used behind the head to tilt the chin a little forward. If you haven't got that, then grab yourself some nice thick books so you can sit on books. You can use these for support under your knees in a very similar way, so you don't have to buy bricks straight away. Then we've got yoga belts. So proper yoga belts have got this D-ring at the end of them so that you can make them into a loop and they stay in a fixed shape. Most of the time we use yoga belts for grabbing hold of. So a normal belt or dressing gown strap or even a tie could be used maybe to draw yourself forward in forward bends, to open out into stretches, or for bringing the hands or feet into a position that you can get hold of if you're not yet at the stage of clasping your limbs together. If you're going to spend a lot of time in a seated yoga practice, then it might be worth investing in a yoga cushion. Meditation cushion like this, Zafu, is filled with buckwheat and really molds to your body, so supporting the hips and the upper thighs. I can really settle into a nice seated posture. And then if your knees are still raised up, maybe some cushions underneath, and I could stay sat like that for some time. If instead you want to use your cushions to actually sit on, then you could use blocks or books under your knees, or you might want to use some rolled up towels. So grab some bath towels. They can be used under knees. They could also be used as substitutes for blankets under your head, or even to cover you up. So most of us have got at least one nice snuggly blanket for relaxation. But if you haven't got multiple blankets, the same thickness, the same sort of feel, then bath towels could make a good alternative there. So moving on to our deluxe items in our yoga prop range, the bolster. Okay, great for supporting you in restorative yoga practices and in relaxation. You can use this to make postures more accessible. You can fold over it, or you can relax back onto it. You can use it under your knees for Shavasana, so that you've got bent knees, keeping the lumbar spine nice and flat, but you're still supporting them effortlessly rather than holding the knees there. Not everybody might want to purchase a yoga bolster straight away, and so you could use stacked up pillows or cushions instead. Now, if this feels like they're messy and slipping away from each other, my tip is to stuff more than one pillow or cushion into a single pillowcase. This makes a much firmer support for you, and it's not going to move around as much. And nice and snugly to rest on top of, to rest over rather, if you're going to use it to relax back onto, then that might still be a bit bendy. So take a yoga mat and place it down through the middle. So you might have an old camping mat, you might have a second mat. If you're doing a whole restorative yoga practice, you don't really need to be on a yoga mat as well. So you could be on a blanket or your bed and use your yoga mat down the middle of your homemade bolster, and then you've got a really good support to lie back on. And you could add a yoga eye pillow to rest over closed eyes. This one's filled with buckwheat and they've often got lavender in them so they smell nice. Or you could use a face flannel, fold it into 3, rest that over your eyes, and there you go. Deeply soothing for the nervous system. So I hope those tips and ideas have been helpful for you in adding yoga props or improvising with what you've got around the house and improving your yoga practice. I hope you enjoy your continuing yoga journey. Namaste.